seasons in life when it feels like heaven has gone silent. You pray with everything you have, but the answer doesn't come. You ask God for direction, yet all you hear is silence. You wake up every morning carrying the same burden, fighting the same battle, wondering if anyone, even God, sees what you're going through. Those moments are some of the hardest moments a person can experience, because uncertainty has a way of attacking your faith. It whispers that you've been forgotten. It convinces you that your prayers don't matter. It tells you that everyone else is moving forward while you're standing still. But what if standing still doesn't mean God has stopped working? What if the silence isn't rejection? What if the darkness isn't punishment? What if the season is exactly where your faith is supposed to grow? Think about a seed. The moment it's planted, it disappears. No applause, no celebration, no visible growth. From the outside, it looks like nothing is happening. If someone didn't understand how seeds worked, they might assume it had died. But beneath the surface, something incredible is taking place. Roots are stretching deeper. Life is beginning to form. Strength is developing where no one can see it. The darkness isn't destroying the seed. The darkness is preparing it. Many of us ask God to make us stronger, but we don't want the process that creates strength. We ask Him for courage, then we complain when we face fear. We ask Him for patience, then we become frustrated by waiting. We ask Him to increase our faith, then we're surprised when life becomes uncertain. Faith has never been about seeing everything clearly. Faith has always been about trusting the one who already does. If you could see every step of your future, it wouldn't require faith. If every prayer were answered immediately, trust would never grow. If every door opened the first time you knocked, perseverance would never develop. God isn't interested in giving you temporary confidence. He's building unshakable faith, the kind that survives storms, the kind that keeps praying after disappointment, the kind that continues believing after heartbreak, the kind that refuses to quit even when emotions say otherwise. Some of the greatest people in Scripture walked through long seasons of darkness. Joseph spent years in slavery and prison before becoming a ruler. David was anointed as king long before he ever wore the crown. Moses spent decades in the wilderness before leading a nation. Abraham waited years for God's promise. Even Jesus spent 40 days in the wilderness before beginning his public ministry. Notice the pattern. Preparation almost always comes before purpose. Waiting almost always comes before fulfillment. Darkness often comes before dawn. We live in a generation that wants everything instantly. Instant success, instant healing, instant recognition, instant blessings. But God's timeline isn't built around convenience. It's built around transformation. Because if He only changed your circumstances without changing your character, your success would eventually destroy you. Character is built slowly. Integrity greater than your understanding. Faith doesn't remove questions. It gives you the courage to keep walking even when you don't have every answer. There will be days when your emotions tell you to quit. Days when comparison steals your joy. Days when social media convinces you everyone else is winning while you're losing. Don't believe the illusion. People often display their victories but hide their battles. God isn't comparing your timeline to anyone else's. He is writing a story that only He can write. Your journey isn't supposed to look like theirs. Your calling requires a different path, a different pace, a different process. Don't rush what God is carefully building. A skyscraper requires a deeper foundation than a small house. Likewise, the greater the responsibility God is preparing you for, the deeper your foundation must become. Foundations aren't exciting. No one celebrates concrete being poured into the ground. But without it, everything above eventually collapses. Your private obedience is your foundation. Your unseen prayers are your foundation. Your daily discipline is your foundation. Every time you choose faith instead of fear, every time you forgive when it's difficult, every time you obey when no one is watching, every time you keep showing up after disappointment, you're strengthening the foundation of your future. One day, people may admire what God builds through your life. They'll see the fruit, the influence, the peace, the strength, but they won't fully understand the years spent growing beneath the surface. The nights you cried, the prayers no one heard, the moments you almost gave up, the battles you fought in silence. God saw every one of them. Not a single tear was wasted. Not a single prayer was ignored. Not a single moment of faith went unnoticed. Even when heaven feels quiet, God is never absent. His silence is not His absence. Sometimes His greatest work is invisible. Just because you can't see roots doesn't mean they aren't growing. Just because you don't feel progress doesn't mean transformation isn't happening. The strongest trees survive storms because of roots no one ever sees. The strongest believers are often those who spent years trusting God in seasons where nothing made sense. So if you're in the dark today, don't panic, don't give up, don't mistake hiddenness for abandonment. God often hides what He is preparing until the right season arrives. The darkness isn't your destination. It's your classroom. It's where faith learns to breathe. It's where hope learns to endure. It's where trust becomes stronger than fear. Keep praying. Keep reading His word. Keep choosing obedience. Keep showing kindness. Keep serving faithfully. Keep believing even when your feelings tell you otherwise. Because feelings change.